Hi, Rule Riders. This week we have two quick topics. I've taken a bit of a break from this and from writing, and it's given me a chance to think and talk about some things that I think we all need to talk about. Writing doesn't happen in a vacuum. It is part of how people understand. The audience understand. We understand. There's been research into people, so let's look at that. The one I suggest that you look at is what they call the Myers-Briggs model. I am an ENTP. I knew that years ago, and I'm what they call the debater. It's perhaps why I like going on forums and talking about writing. But it's really good to understand personality types when it comes to writing characters. You may get a character who takes a stance on something. They are, this is the truth, this is what I believe. They don't have any shades of grey. They have the thing they believe in. Some people might say that's their flaw. But that's the hill you can now put them on and force them to either change or die on that hill. And having that character is great in your story because people will either go, yes, I agree with him because they're that personality type themselves. I'll go, yes, I understand. I would die on that hill. I would stand for that. And then they see people like me that see shades of grey and decide to move, maybe adapt with a situation. So I'm fairly adaptable. They see someone like me and they go, oh, he's betraying his position. That's because they would never betray their position. Or they see that as a character weakness rather than a strength. And then you've got someone who, I can't think who said this, but somebody who says it is what it is incredibly dangerous because it means they're incredibly adaptable, which means they will always do whatever it takes to get advantage in that situation. So if you've got somebody who is, you want to make them dangerous, make them adaptable. Make them, okay, something bad's happened. I'm going to change with that and I'm going to use it to my advantage. And then you maybe later on, if you want to, show them is that they always wanted that to happen, that it's part of a larger plan, a bit like in The Dark Knight, when the Joker gets captured and he's in the prison. And then they make that realization. I even think Gordon states it for the audience. He wanted us to capture him. He wanted us to bring him in. He had to be in here to get his people out. So look at the personality types to give you an understanding of people and allow you to write better people. This is actually part of your education as a writer. It's not just to learn how to structure a story, which is super important, and to learn, more importantly, how to put a good sentence together. I pointed out to someone the other day that you don't have to have, they walked in through the door and entered the room. You just put, they entered the room, because if they enter in the room, they're coming through a door, and to come through the door, they had to walk through the door. So just say, they entered the room. And then that gives you a little bit more space to say how. They entered the room broken and dejected. They entered the room like royalty. They entered the room like they owned it. They entered the room and instantly made everyone scared of them. They entered the room, and then you've got more room for your writing. Sidebar. The next topic is titles. Picking a title for your story. Everyone says it's not really that important because if the work's great, it will, they'll American Hustle was originally called American Bullshit. They'll change it. Of course they'll change it. But the reason I'm saying titles are important is not because it's going to be there on the big screen. It's going to be the final decision. People might follow it all the way through and love it. But what it is, the thing you can use it for is that it sets the mood. It sets how people will feel. I'll just quickly give you a demo. I'll grab the 335, one sec. I don't know if this will come through, okay? But if you had a song and it started with a minor, E minor, like, those two chords, instantly sad, compared to sort of like a standard A, standard E, majors. Bit more joyful. Just two 2 chords strummed. So your title sets their mood. If it's called Death in Hill House, which I actually think is already a story. Death in Hill House, you go, oh, okay, so it's a death, it's a murder, it's a horror, it's a mystery, it's a thriller. If it's like The Happy Girl, we know it's what it's going to be. So you can do 2 things with that. You can think of Happy Girl, oh, it's going to be a light-hearted romp about a happy girl, read off, start going. Or you can instantly subvert expectations. That's a bit hard to get out. Happy Girl, open it up. The arm lays white, blood dripping from its fingers onto the white carpet below. People go, okay. It's a graphic opening where if it's Murder in Hill House, the arm's there, blood's dripping off the carpet. Yeah, it's a bit of the same in the same. If you go to a place called the House of Curry and you get a curry entree and a curry main and a curry dessert, lots of curry. But if it's the House of Curry and the first thing they serve you is a green tea ice cream, you go, okay, that's a dessert. I'm getting it as an entree. It's throwing me out. I'm going to have to think now. Your title can be used to make people think, to make people attracted. If you're into a horror guy, maybe have a good horror title. Have something catchy. It's a little entree to your story. Thank you for everyone who's been doing this. It's fantastic. Last week's one, when I said AI may save new writers, oh, people didn't even watch the video. I posted it on Facebook and a few places like that, and they just lost their mind over AI saving writers. And the thing, one guy said, my 2 favourite letters, F-U. It was hilarious how bent people got without even watching the video, just from a title. So titles are very important. Like, subscribe, all those things. Here's the t-shirts. Hard to be heard in the herd. The idea behind these t-shirts is you have to be unique to be heard. You have to be not in the crowd, not in the herd. It's hard to be heard in the herd. That's why these t-shirts were designed. So don't follow the formulas. Don't follow the standard things. Look at the world differently. Write what you see. 20% off writerduet. We'll put that code up there for you. There's the books. Again, there's the 2 books on Amazon. I'm also going to put them on Apple Books. And until next time, keep writing. Bye, guys.